Okay, hello everybody. You guys know that I'm full of energy already. I am nuts. I don't even know when to stop talking. That is the reality. Because you know what? The reality is I love to talk. And that's the reason why I bring you all of these experts in different areas and people with experience to be able to share with you how can you live a better life. And what more than Kati Tuccaro. I love that. I love that to be able to share with us this amazing topic that is all about really being kind to your mind. Do you understand that? Like being kind to your mind, baby. Oh my, really? Well, that's what we're gonna try to do today. So, Kathy, since me and you have this same kind of crazy energy, let's get this party started right. So, where do we begin? Tell us about you, Kathy. What is going on? Tell us more.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Where do I start? Well, I guess the most impactful thing I could say is that this chickie poo right here operates the largest equipment in the world. I kid you
Mm,
not. Yes. I'm
yes.
5'6", nothing. And the
You
truck
don't
that
look
I
five
drive,
foot six. You look pretty tall to
yeah,
me.
no, 5'6". But the truck that I operate is 2.5 stories high. It's 3,800 square feet. It carries 400 tons of dirt on its back. The tires are 14 feet high. It When the box is raised, it's 5 stories high. I drive a house, basically. I do. It's phenomenal. Actually, here, you see a picture? That's me. This is my book, but
Wow.
that's me right here. And those are the tires. That's my baby.
Wow. So
I
so
know.
tell us more about what a tiny little woman does with this big thing. How did that begin?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I I left the father of my daughter back in 1994 and or 1996, and I was a single mom with a
You don't, you don't you
3-year-old
don't need to
daughter.
confess your age. You don't need to tell us your age or nothing
It's
like
okay.
that.
It's okay.
I'm
I got
messing
no
with you.
shame. No
I'm
shame.
messing with you.
And I knew, like, at the time I was a waitress and I was working. Oh my God. I said, what am I going to teach my daughter? And I'm like, I can't do this. So I went to school as a single mom, put myself through nursing school, did that for 13 years, lots of trauma and abuse, lots of violence, lots of, oh my God. Well, that's a whole other story we'll get into. Literally should be dead 10 times over. And I kid you not. And I ended up losing my nursing career at the age of 42. I was a wicked alcoholic. My daughter wouldn't talk to me. She was 16 at the time. You can't see it, but I
Tough,
slashed my
tough
whole
time.
arm.
Tough time.
I, yeah, I lost everything I owned. I was 40 and drunk and homeless on the streets. And I couldn't function anymore. I was so filled with inner repressed trauma. Yeah, we all have a vault that you put things in there and you keep pushing down, pushing down, pushing down.
Yeah.
And you tell yourself, oh, that happened a long time ago. It doesn't matter. Happens in the past stays in the past, sort of thing. Well, at some point, my last day of nursing, that vault, it just bubbled over, and man, it was like a volcano. So it took me a long time to figure that out, but I knew I couldn't go back to nursing. So when I was standing there homeless on the streets, I was in this fog because I was so depressed and so lost and just like a zombie. If you'd see a picture of me back then in 2011, this is nothing like this. This is so not that.
Wow.
But this man named Toothless Joe, honest to God, he came up to me and he was all happy to be, his situation, drinking. And he slaps me on the back and he goes, "This is the life. Live it, love it, bah," big toothless grin. When he did that, it's as if I call it a Godsmack, because that cloud of depression that I've had for decades, it just shattered and time slowed down. And I'm looking at my very dismal surroundings, and I'm looking at him and I said, "What did you just say?" And I said, "I don't care what you think is okay, but this, being homeless, is not my life." I actually stomped my foot and I said, "This is not my life." And although I had been robbed, I had nothing, I had no identification. All I had literally was the clothes on my back. I had my mind. And I made a decision that I was going to do whatever it took to get away from that guy. Like, I don't care. So I turned around and I went to the hospital. I detoxed and I went to this women's recovery program where you live there for a year and you unlearn all the crap and you relearn what you're really all about, like who Kathy really was, not the
Yes.
lies that I've been told since childhood, that I was no
Yes.
good and useless and fat and
Yes.
stupid,
Yes.
never amount to nothing, you know, all that.
Yeah.
I had to unlearn that, and it's possible, and then
Yes.
figure out what I did at 40 years old. I didn't even know what I liked, what I don't
Oh.
like. I wasn't sure because I was such a chameleon, transforming myself into so desperate for love, wanting to whoever was in front of me, I would
Yeah.
be what they wanted me to be.
Depending on
Right.
your
So
environment, whatever
yeah,
comes, you will just
yeah,
becoming that. Yeah.
exactly. So it took that year that I took with in this women's center. There's 25 of us. I had to learn about boundaries. I had to learn about codependencies, anger management. Oh, did I have to learn about that? I mean, I'm the nicest person on the planet. I said, I'm not angry. And the lady, the counselor said, just because you said that, you're taking the class. Because anger comes out in sneaky forms. Anyhow, so I
Yeah.
had to relearn all that. And then I had to, the hardest part about why I talk about being kind to your mind is because I had to learn to accept it. I had to learn to love myself just the way I am and accept
What
certain
was the
things.
hardest part about that part about loving yourself? Because I experienced the same thing, but
Oh
what
my
was that?
gosh.
That was that. What was the hard part of that?
You know what? The foundation of loving yourself is forgiveness. I had to,
Woo!
that's it. Bottom line, one word.
That's the magic right there.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
forgiveness and accepting that we're human. We make mistakes. We don't always make the
Yes.
best decisions.
Yes.
So yeah, that was the biggest part. So once I
Forgiveness.
had done all that, well, then I'm still left without a career. By now I'm 42. So how do you change careers when you're
Yep.
42? I mean, all I knew was nursing. And so I actually had to go to a career planning workshop. And my daughter still wasn't really talking to me at the time. So I was really struggling with guilt and, you know, how do you fix that?
And how old was she at this time?
She was about 18 now. From
Okay.
16 to 18, she didn't talk to me at all.
Okay.
So now I'm trying to just heal and, you know, mend the past and heal the wounds and stuff. And how do you do that without buying the child? You can't, you
Right.
know, a lot of parents, single parents especially, tend to buy the love or the time because they're away so much. You
Right.
know, buying your child's love and affection doesn't
Go
work. So I
shopping. Go
need,
on the trips. Go here. Go
yeah,
there. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So I had to really learn how to what footing, what path was I was going to deal with her. But anyhow, in the meantime, I still need a career. Right? And in case you didn't notice, I got a lot of hamsters going on up there, a lot of energy. So I didn't really want a job just at a cashier or pumping gas. I mean, I do it for the paycheck, but
Right.
I mean, I'm kind of a smart woman, and so I got a lot going
Yeah. You
on.
wanted a little bit more.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So I went to a career planning workshop, and after 3 days of aptitude tests, personality tests, you name it, the lady hands me my sheet back, and in big letters, it said heavy equipment operator. Oh my God, I laughed so hard, I just about fell off my chair. I'm like, you gotta be joking. I said, I'm 42, I'm a woman, I'm not mechanically inclined, I don't even like equipment, and it's a
You don't
man's
know
job.
karate. You
Yeah,
don't know
I said,
karate.
it's a man's job. So I pushed back the test. I said, your test is wrong. She puts one hand on her hip, looks at me like this. She says, pushes the test back and says, if only you'd believe in yourself a little bit, missy, you'd
Yes.
see the test is right. So I go like this, thinking, I just wasted 3 whole days here, blah, blah, blah. You know, what a waste of time. She puts on a Les Brown. You know Les Brown,
Yeah.
biggest
Of
motivational speaker.
course. Of
Yeah.
course.
So she
If
puts
you
on one.
if you fall down, fall on your back so that you
That's
can knock
right.
up and
Look
get
up.
up.
So she puts one of his videos, it's possible. So as he's talking, yeah, here I am going like, this is baloney, blah, blah, blah. And as he's talking, I start to think, well, geez, I'm a good driver. I can drive a truck, and, you know, I have a clean act. I used to race cars when I was young. I'm like, so I
Mm.
went from sitting like this to all of a sudden my arms go down my mind opens to the possibilities, just like Les was saying, that you know what, even if you don't think you can achieve it, is it possible? So
Yeah.
that's what I left with. I said, well, I'm going to try. So that woman came back and she directed me to a nonprofit organization we have here in Canada. It's called Women Building Futures. And the day I went in, now this is another Godsmack, like the moment I walked in, I came in a little early, and ExxonMobil, the biggest oil and gas company in the world, just happened to be there, and they were offering a 12-week course, and they were paying $18,000 per
That
woman.
was God for sure.
They
That
they
was
paid
God
for
looking out
six,
for
I
you.
know. They took 16 women, and out of 170 women that applied, they took 16. I got chosen. You know why I got chosen? Because
Why?
I had nothing left to lose. I mean, here I am, I'm in recovery. I got 9 months sober. I got no career. I got nothing. So all I saw, I didn't know what a haul truck was. Like this thing, when they said you're going to
Uh-huh.
drive a haul truck, I had no idea what it was. All I saw was you work 10 days on, you work 10 days off, you get a month vacation. I said, I'll take it.
I take
I'll take it. I don't know what it is, but I'll take it. So I did the 12-week course, and oh my gosh, I gotta tell you, oh, women out there, single moms or not, it doesn't matter what age you are, operating equipment is men's best kept secret. It is so much fun. Oh, every piece of equipment that I got on, it was as if I was a natural at it. Like I could do it. Like I knew how to operate. Like I can do this. It gave me the confidence that I never had. And I
Wow.
remember one day I was loading a rock truck, and I went home. The instructor's jumping up and down. He's like, "Oh my God!" He says, "Can I marry you?" Anyway, so that day when I walked back to the recovery center, to the women's center, I knew, like the song came on there on my iPod. It was Redeemed by Big Daddy Weave. It's about refining yourself and letting go, letting the chains of your past that are holding you, breaking
Yeah.
free and finding your true life, your true purpose. And that day was the day that I understood that all the lies that have been fed into me since childhood, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not worthy enough, that I'll never amount to nothing, that I'm too stupid to live, that even things that I was a
Mm,
waste of skin, or that I
yes.
pollute the air, or,
Yes.
all those lies, I was able to put it aside and believe in myself enough to say, you know what? Oh my God, why have I been believing other people? Why have I been listening to the opinions of others when, holy cow, I got this. I rock. I'm awesome. So
Wow.
that day was the starting point for me to shift, right?
But
And so,
were there people, some people telling you, what are you doing? You can't do that.
yeah,
Did any of those show up, and how did you handle those people?
you know, that shows up throughout everything. Even in my nursing, when I was going to nursing school back in the day, a lot of people say, oh, don't do that, you'll never have a job, and they're doing cutbacks, and you're a nurse, you'll always have a job. Who are you kidding me, right? Like seriously. If you're gonna get sick. So I never was one to listen to other people when it came to
Hmm.
that. And when this whole heavy equipment thing, not to mention the fact that I was 42, um, people were saying, why are you going to do that? How are you going to find a job? But what they didn't know is that God's got a plan for me.
Woo! Say it
I'm on a
again.
mission. I'm on a
Yes.
mission. And
Yes.
so things just, it's like the Nile just parted and everything just fell into place. So
Yes.
that day, out of those 16 women that took the course, they only hired 11, and I got hired. And that was
Wow.
in 2013. And that this job has changed my life. It really has. It's been unbelievable. I
Wow.
can't even begin
Wow.
to tell you.
So, what
Uh,
will you tell these women that are thinking right now, I don't have an education, I don't have a job, I don't know what I'm gonna do, I'm having problem with my baby's dad, I'm having problem with my kids, all that. What is it that you will tell them now based on everything that you experience?
you're always going to have problems. You're always going to have excuses. There's always going to be something that's going to come up that's going to block your path. be it the devil, be it the negative energy, be it whatever is it that you're going to believe in, it'll always be there. It is up to you and you alone to get your butt off that couch and
That's
get
right.
moving. And I
That's
say that
right.
because I did it and I cried the whole way there. And if you gotta cry, cry. Do whatever it takes. It's like, if you gotta crawl there. You know,
I did.
it's the
Yes.
only way that things are going to change. I'll tell you a
Yeah.
little bit of a story. When I in transition of that right after I lost that nursing career, when I kind of lost my mind there, um, I ended up laying on the couch for 3 whole days in such depression because I said, my daughter wouldn't talk to me. I'm laying on the couch. I had no money. I lost my career. This is right before the homeless thing. And I'm just laying there and I waited for God to save me. I literally waited. I didn't comb my hair. I didn't eat. I just, I did nothing. Laid there. I'm looking at the ceiling, and on the 3rd day, finally, I got off that couch and I'm on my knees now and I'm crying and I'm just in despair. And there's a song that came on the radio, on the TV, and it was from the Foo Fighters, their Skin and Bones DVD, and it's a slow melodious song, and it's called Another Round, and it's repetitive. It says, can you go another round? I will follow you. And so I'm on my knees
Whoa.
crying, and the song is saying, can you go another round? I will follow you. So
Oh.
the words sink in, and I stop crying, and I kind of go like this, and I'm in this basement suite where it's dark and there's no light at all, and the one window that was off to the side was blacked out. But there, as I'm questioning myself, can I go another round? Do I have the strength to get back up? I look up, and there's this light about the size like this. It's coming through the darkness, which is impossible. And it came through and it touched me right in my heart center. And the song is playing, can you go another round? I
Oh,
will follow
wow.
you. So I say, oh, you'll follow me, hey? We'll see about that. I get up, I move over to the kitchen. The light never left my side. It never left my heart. So now I'm shocked, right?
You
I'm
didn't
like,
think it was FBI or somebody put a point in her
yeah, with a
through the
little,
window?
my crazy ex, yeah, he found me. Oh God, yeah. So and I went from the kitchen down over to the couch, and I jumped up and down. The light never left my side, and that's when I knew that no matter what circumstances you're in, if only you would have faith that there's a
Yes.
greater a power greater than ourselves out there, if only
Yes.
you would open yourself up to that power, that the help will come.
That's
So
right.
what I did
That's
is
right.
I went down on my knees and I surrendered. I said, okay, I don't know what you got, but okay, whatever it is, I'll try. Clearly there's a plan.
I surrender.
So that's what I
That's
did.
exactly what you did
I
there.
just said, okay. And
Yes. Yes.
the minute I did that, a voice said, Kathy, get up. I panic. I'm thinking it's my crazy ex, right? I'm looking around. No. And it said, Kathy, get up. So I get up. There's a knock on the door, and it was the guy who lived upstairs. And he says, I've been gone for 3 days. I've been thinking you're not doing well. Do you need help? And I'm like, when opportunity knocks, literally, you take it. So I had him bring me to detox, and that was the beginning of all these steps that I had to take to change. But that's the whole point. You have to start. You have to take a step. Doesn't matter what's in your path. Doesn't matter if it's your ex giving you a hard time. It doesn't matter if it's lack of money or lack of job. In this day and age, especially with the COVID stuff going on, there's a lot of resources that are free, that are online, that there's no excuse for you not to move.
Yes. Yes.
Will it be
No
easy?
excuse.
No, it's going to be very hard. I
Yes.
mean, my God, I cried enough tears for the Nile River. Like it's unbelievable how
Yeah.
many tears I cried, but I kept trying. I
Yes.
kept putting one foot in front of the other, no matter what circumstances,
Yes.
and that's one of the best things that I could tell anybody out there watching this, is that it's okay to stop for a day and have an emotional day and just cry it out, figure it out.
Yes.
But then find your power, tune into that source that's inside of you, that fire, that drive, and get moving.
Yeah.
whether it's even combing your hair, at least you did something,
Yes.
it doesn't have to
And
be on
it sounds
epic.
like it's funny, like it's minor, but it's
No,
true.
it's
Because
true.
if you get to brush your teeth, take a shower, get out of
Yeah,
the bed, do something, it
yeah,
does work.
it does. Go
It
for a
does.
walk.
You
People
know,
people
and one
seem to
thing that I
have.
want to say,
Yeah.
when you say, one thing that you didn't say it, but your actions are showing, there are fear. There
Fear.
were a lot of fear there, but you were still doing it. I'm sure you were confused a lot of time. What am I going to do next? But you still do it. Tell us more about that.
You
Were you
know,
afraid? What were you afraid of? A failure? All that
uh,
stuff. Tell us more about that.
one of my biggest things is I have two mottos in life. Two. One is feel the fear and do it anyway. I've always said that. And two, and this is right where it plays along in this part of the story, is that when sleeping women wake, mountains move. And I mean
Ooh.
move. It's like
Repeat that
it's like
again.
an earthquake because
Repeat that again. Repeat that
okay, when
again.
sleeping women wake, mountains move. And that
Mhm.
is a true story because not just in my case, but in many cases of other women that I deal with, um, I was so repressed. Repressed is a good word for 40 years, we'll call it, right? And once I started to find out who Kathy really was and the power that I have here inside of me,
Mm.
oh my God. It's like that sleeping woman. I just opened up my eyes and I realized, and all of a sudden, the volcano. Now I am moving mountains, and
That's
I'm
right.
changing
That's right.
lives worldwide because I learned to believe in myself and
That's
I
right.
stopped listening to others' opinions. That's a big, big thing. Fear,
Yes.
do I
Yes.
have full of fear? Oh my God. This picture, you can't see it. My first day on site, I hadn't even been on the truck yet. I'm crying. I got tears because two things. One, I'm looking up at this thing thinking, oh my God, how am I going to drive this? Like, holy crap, right? And number two, I'm thinking of Toothless Joe because Toothless Joe was 2 years before this picture was taken. And I'm thinking if only Toothless Joe could see me now. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that day I could have easily went and had another drink with him and continue to be depressed and continue that same horrible path that I was on. But no, I made that decision and I'm like, this stops right now. And
Yes.
this goes for anybody, any situation you're in. It doesn't matter how overwhelming it is. It's it's a mindset. As soon as you start to shake off the illusions and believe in yourself and recognize that you are a divine spark of God, that or you are a divine light, and that is your power. Your
That's right.
source of truth is inside, and it's your belief system. If you
Yeah.
continue to believe that you're stupid, you're fat, you're ugly, you don't have an education, you don't have this, you don't, all your don'ts, well, that's what you're focused on. But if
Yes.
you start looking at what you do have, hey, I have a mind. I can learn. Even if it's a
Yes.
slow learner, you're still learning, right?
Yeah.
I can try. All the positive things that you have, it'll change your perspective. And
Yeah.
that's what it's
One
all
thing that I
about.
have is that in my quote, for if you guys haven't visited my page, single mom that today. And my favorite thing that I like to use is choose your path. And when I mean choose your path,
Mm,
it's a lot of people want to choose other people's path. They look at someone, I want
yeah.
that life, I want this, I want to be like her, I want to be like this person want me to be like this. Forget about what people want for you. Start deciding what you want for yourself. And there's going to be so many options, but whatever option you pick, if you make a mistake, it is okay. You learn from it and you keep moving. But you have to choose your path. Not Kathy's path, not Monique's path, not
Yeah.
Billy's path, your path. And that's how you're going to learn, because it is your path, your decision. That's how we're going to
Mm.
learn. So stop being so afraid of making a mistake. But Kathy, how many mistakes have you made in your life? Can you count
Oh
them?
my God. Oh my God. So many. I'll give you a good example. I'm operating the biggest grader in the world. It is bigger than a tractor trailer that you see on the highway, the big 18 wheelers. It's bigger than that. Okay. I got to learn how to operate this thing. Am I full of fear? Yeah. Do I make mistakes? Yeah. In the first day alone, I made over 100 mistakes because you have 14 options with this hand. You got 12 with this and everything's moving and you got a 24-foot blade.
But you didn't give up.
I didn't quit. I didn't quit. Instead, I asked the questions saying, hey, how do I do this? What do I need to do this? One day I was so, I have a picture. I even showed up to work because I was so kind of overwhelmed. I showed up with 2 right gloves. I'm thinking, oh my God, Kathy. But the thing is, it's how you look at your mistakes. If you look at your mistakes and say, oh, I'll just never get it. I'm too dumb. If you go down that path, you're not going to achieve it. But if you take a look at your mistake, oh, well, that was a good one. I better not do that again. Like, whoopsie. If you're able to laugh at your mistakes and not use that as a burden, because we're not perfect. And all those great operators or all those people, these superstars or whatever, they made tons of mistakes. Everybody does. It's part of life. Failure is part of success.
Right.
Is it
So
not?
you said something before when I asked you the question about the 3 things that you will want them to know. And the first one was self-care. How do you believe that a single mom can practice self-care? What would that look like?
Oh my gosh. Self-care is priceless. I didn't know that. I wasn't at the time when my daughter was only 3 and I was a nurse and I just, I'm so busy taking care of everybody else. And this is classic. And I'm trying to take more classes at night and be a single mom. And I didn't know how to take care of myself. I honestly, I didn't. My level of self-care started in 1999 when I was drinking vodka, drinking beer, drinking anything I could find in sight. And that is not self-care. That is self-medicating, right? Self-care comes in the form of either taking a hot bath, going for a walk, finding a babysitter just to go for a walk. It's not going out to the bars. It's not going out partying. It's doing things that will elevate your mind to give it a rest and nurture your mind, nurture your body. Find time to do yoga or exercise or do something online, do whatever it is that gardening. I mean, anything that's positive and uplifting, that has nothing to do with hanging out with people that are going to suck all your energy away. And literally, if you hang out with people that are drinking all the time, well, there's a negative energy that's already around that. No matter how good you think they are, the fact that that's what they use to, right? It's not going to help you.
Even just people that if you don't feel good about where you are in your life and they're not doing anything, you should be hanging out with them. You got to find the kind of people of the kind of life that you want to live, the kind of environment you want to live, the kind of thing.
Read a lot of books, reading, taking, right? And another thing is what I've noticed over the years, how people say, you're supposed to hang out with like-minded people, but I don't believe in that, because when you do that, you're all the same. You got to hang out with people that are going to push you, that are going to elevate you, that are going to make you reach your goals, that are going to inspire you. Because if you hang out with people that are doing, all the same, well, how is that changing anything? How are you challenging yourself to get to the next level in life? I mean, here's the thing. I'm from a small town in Quebec. And when I left when I was 18 years old, I said, I'm out of here, man. Like, I'm gone. And I mean, I traveled, I modeled, I went worldwide. I did all these things. And I went back there with my sister. I hadn't been back in maybe 15 years. And my sister and I are driving through this small hometown. And I kid you not, there was a guy that we grew up with that was leaning like this on a post, in the same pose that he was 15 years ago. I'm like, Lynn, oh my God, I don't think he moved. Like, is he a statue? Is he dead? Right? And so, and we went to the local, like, there's only one pub in that small town. We went there. There was a guy that we grew up with was still sitting on the same bar stool 15 years. And I'm thinking, holy crap. So if you want to grow, you got to move. right?
Yep.
You got to make that effort, and that effort starts with your environment, with
Yep.
and this comes with family too.
Oh,
A lot of
yes. Tell
family
us about
members
that
are
one.
right. A lot of family members are toxic,
Ooh,
and I had to personally step away from mine for a little bit just so that I could get my own head straightened out and figured out. And so
yeah.
then you once, because you are ultimately number one. Self-care is everything.
Yes.
Whether you have to find what works for you, because like you said earlier, what works for you doesn't work for me, right? And what works for me
Mm-hmm.
won't necessarily work for you.
Yeah.
So you just have to make that effort and do the, and I'm not saying 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's only 5 minutes because
That's
maybe
right.
that's all you got. But take
Sometimes it's
that
simply
five
being able
minutes.
to say no.
Yeah,
Because people are going to want you to do things, and at that moment your brain is saying it's too much, and you just
yeah,
have to say no. So self-care is also being able to
yeah,
say no when you want to say no, and yes when
yeah.
you want to say yes. That's a lot of
That's
self-care
that's
too.
very critical. That when I first went to the treatment center, that women's center, I was speaking with my counselor, and she says, "Oh, we're going to talk about boundaries today," and I'm like, "Boundaries? What's that?" I didn't know what the word meant. And she says, to say no. I'm like, I can say no. I literally, it's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing.
Wow.
I did not know that I could say no to what was demanded of me.
Wow.
I was so starved for love and attention that I would always say yes, always, always. But I didn't realize how energy robbing that is and how draining that is. And at the same time, learning to say no was the best thing I've ever done,
That's
because
right.
when people want something of you, it's empowering to say, you know what? I'm not going to do that today. I'm sorry, but today's Kathy day. And to
Yeah.
say, no, I can't without feeling guilty, it's an achievement. It takes some effort,
Yeah, yeah.
you
And
know?
you saying that you had a hard time saying no. I didn't have a hard time saying
No?
no. No. I had a hard time saying yes because I would always try to
Hmm.
protect myself because I come from sexual abuse and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, no, no. Everything was no, no, no. And a
Really?
lot of it wasn't self-care because even when someone was trying to do something nice, I didn't trust them. It was just like,
Oh,
I'm by
yeah.
myself. I can do everything by myself. And you single moms, you think that you can do everything by yourself and
We're
whatever, but it's okay.
superwoman.
It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to
Yeah.
seek advice. It's okay to do a lot of these things. We're not saying to just welcome everybody into your life and let them screw you up. We are
Yeah.
saying be wise and yes, have your fun, take care of yourself, but also you can hang out with some people that are not toxic, okay, that are not
Yes.
toxic.
That's
That's where the
right.
wisdom come because
Yeah.
I just eliminated everybody, good, bad, toxic, whatever. It was just like get the heck out of my face, right?
Yeah.
But
Well,
in
that's not
that
really healthy
time,
either.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm an extremist in all the way, okay.
All or nothing.
So you got to find that balance of
Yeah.
taking care of yourself, because sometimes I listen to a lot of people and I'm like, oh, I love myself. It come out to cocky, being an asshole. It come up to being selfish, being useless to other people. So that's not what Kathy's promoting, let me tell you.
No, no,
That
no,
is
no,
not
no,
what
no.
she's saying. It's self-care is about taking care of you, not being what is it called, not no, I'm not gonna.
It's
I'm
not
trying not to say bad
selfish.
word. Not, yeah, I'm
It's
not. I'm
not
trying not to
selfish
say bad word.
doing self-care. I don't know any bad words. No, I don't.
As a trucker, but
Okay, moving on.
just wanted to clarify that you can be self care, but make sure that you're not being selfish.
That's right. Well said. Well said.
Yeah, it take one to know one.
Uh-huh. I don't know. Oh
So
man.
so tell us, Kathy, more about the self care. The next thing that you were talking about, remember who you are. How can I remember who I am if what I am was a lost person?
What I mean by that, this is something
Exactly.
that most people we don't really address. Remember who you are is that beautiful spark of light. That's what I'm talking about. We get
Mhm.
so disillusioned since childhood by various factors, whether it's bullying at school, whether it's, violence in the home, whether it's sexual abuse, whatever it is, we forget because we're so what do you call it? We're so impressionable from outside sources that are coming at us that most people don't even know who they are. So it's finding that out. And the bottom line of that is that inside we are all a spark. We all have that light. You see it when you look in people's eyes. You can either see they have the light or they don't. Oh, I know. Look at those beautiful eyes. Shall I bat them? That is what I mean by remember who you are. And once you do that, once you're able to recognize that your body is just a temple holding soul, that light, that you can achieve anything. And what works best is love. Love is, to me, is the end all of the cure all. Love and forgiveness and kindness. That is who we basically are. Look at most children. What are they filled with? Love and laughter. And they're so forgiving on anything, right? And to get back that childlike way of looking at things. And that's who we are. Real, true source is the light.
Well said. Well said. Well said. That deserves an applause right there. Because that's exactly what children are. They're very good at laughing, loving, and forgiving.
They are.
Yes.
They're priceless. And yet, all these adults are just the reason the reason I wrote a children's book, by the way, last year. Because I travel a lot to the Caribbean islands, and when I go there, I don't go in posh resorts. I mean, I go to the hood, man. I go to the women's shelters, I go to the juvenile homes, I go to schools, I go to prisons, and I want to deal with the people on their terms. And what I found, there's so much sexual abuse, it's just horrific. So I'm looking. One time, when my first time in a church, there was 138 little kids, and I'm talking about good touch, bad touch, and I'm looking in their eyes, and I know, which ones are being sexually abused. And I'm like, okay, well, my God, my book, they can't read this, right? It's too much. I got to write something. I can't change the social structure, but what can I give them? What tool can I give to them that will enhance, that will give them a little bit of help? So last year, over the Easter long weekend, I wrote the children's book in 4 days. And now it's in English, French, and Spanish.
What?
It's called The Mystical Swordsman of the Sugmad, which is God. It's a Sanskrit name.
You got a copy or anything?
I'll send you a book. Okay, how's that?
Okay.
Yeah.
We wanted to see it right here.
I'm at my daughter's house. I don't have it.
Okay.
It's what it is. It's based on my own personal journey, of my spiritual journey. So yes, it's a children's book, but it's something that's real. Because when I was running away, escaping as a child in the doghouse, I would have these conversations. I was like 6, and I'd be asking God, if you're such a loving God, how can you let these horrible things happen? Like, I just didn't understand. And I started having dreams as a child where they were so vivid, where I would go into other worlds with these spiritual guides, and I would go to these temples and these spiritual cities and learn in these book of knowledge, and it was incredible. And throughout my life, those places, that spirituality has helped me throughout my darkest days, throughout the days that I'm cursing God and I want to commit suicide, the days of rapes and of beatings and just such pain and such trauma that I don't know how to get help. It's that foundation of my spiritual beliefs that help me. So I put that into the book. So, but I made it in terms that a child can understand, right? Mystical. And so, so this book, whenever the world opens up and I'm going traveling again, I'm giving this book freely to all children. All.
Wow, that is awesome. You definitely
it's not about money.
How we're going to find it, you definitely have to share that with me so that I can share it. And how is it that people can get in touch with you if they wanted to follow you or anything?
Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, it's Blue Star Blogger. because I have a separate blogging, bluestarblogger.com, and my website is my name, kathytuccaro.com. There's a contact page. My book is on Amazon. It's in Barnes and Noble. In Canada, it's in Chapters Indigo. It's on
You
ebook.
busy? You busy?
Yeah. Oh, but wait, there's more. I'm working with a Hollywood screenwriter right now. Guess what?
Are you serious?
I'm very serious. So I'll come back to the show. We'll talk about that in a few
Oh,
months.
that's gonna be exciting.
So you can go on my children's books or ebooks. I have a Dream Big workbook, because in the book I have every chapter has 4 or 5 questions for the reader to do some self-reflection. Like example, fear. I have, well, if you ask the reader, what am I afraid of? Or better yet, what if I take that one word fear out of the equation? What could I accomplish, right? So I want the reader to look at themselves and figure out, well, what can I do? So I created a workbook based on the book. So I have 5 I release a chapter every couple months, and each chapter has about 20 questions, and there's spiritual exercises in there so you can take breaks and do some healing and do some inner work. And yeah, so it's
So
pretty
it is
cool.
out already. So single
Yep,
moms
they're all
can
on
get hold of
ebooks.
this book.
Yep, ebooks, Smashwords, Kobo, you bet. And the
That's
children's book,
awesome.
3 languages. Oh, my current book is in English, French, Spanish, and Caterpillar India just released it in Hindi. They paid, yeah.
Wow,
How
that
cool
is
is that?
awesome. That is
I
really
know.
awesome.
So now I got to
Congratulations.
go back to India for a Hindi book launch.
Oh, you've been to India already?
I went there 2 years ago for Caterpillar, and I went to Singapore for Caterpillar, and
Oh,
West Africa. I'm going there for Caterpillar as soon as the world opens up.
that is so awesome. That
I
is really, really
know, I
good.
know. And then South
Wow.
America for in Chile, there's a lot of mines, and there's not a whole lot of women in mining. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
go do a Spanish book launch down in Chile.
So you speak
While I'm,
Spanish?
yeah, yeah. Do I
Hablas
speak Spanish?
español.
Oh, a poquito. Me
Hablas
llamo
un poquito de
Catalina.
español. Vamos. Ay, sí. Uy, Catarina, me gusta eso mejor
Oh,
que Cari, ¿eh?
that was cool. Yeah, that's about the
Spanish
extent
is
of mine.
Spanish is my first language, so I
Oh,
can get you in trouble.
nice. Okay, yeah, no. Maybe I'll send you the Spanish book. How's that?
Yeah, this channel that I have right now was actually bilingual, but I have a passion for helping single moms now because of
Yeah.
all this thing that's been going on. And I have a niece that her husband cheated on her, and now she became a single mom, and she didn't expect to become a single mom, and all that kind of
We never
stuff.
do.
And I just got so passionate about it. I'm like, that's it. I announced it on my Instagram. I am not going to be doing motivational to just anybody. This channel is directly for single moms. That's what I told you I'm an extremist, right? So that's all
You're
I did.
awesome.
I cried so much because guess what? My
Uh,
husband is a pastor.
oh.
What?
Oh.
So that just destroyed me because when you are that, you're not expecting that to happen. She did everything right. So single
Yeah.
moms or married women,
Mm.
wives, let me tell you what I keep telling women, please don't spit in the air. Please don't talk down about single mom. Please don't think you got it all figured out. That's the
Mm.
reason why I'm creating this community on all of that because we never know what tomorrow is going to hold. And that's why the website is called singlemom.today because
Mm.
today is all that matters. You do not know. So please, ladies, stop spitting up. In Spanish, we have something that says, and I'm going to keep repeating, el que escupe para arriba le cae en la cara. So whoever spit up in the air, it falls in your face. Okay? So
It
please
does.
be respectful. I don't care if you're single mom, single woman, single, woman that have the great body and you think your body's gonna change. You think you're so
Wait,
young,
just
now
wait.
you're never gonna look different. Don't look down on any woman because
Yeah,
everything you look down on, you become. Okay?
that's right.
So don't look down at anything. That's the reason why I love Kathy's energy and I love all this because did you see how she was able to talk about her life and all the stories she told was not all beautiful, but it's the way she said it because she's comfortable with who she is. She have healed. She have
Mm.
taken care of her business. So now she can talk about anything
That's
because
right.
it doesn't depend on your opinion. It doesn't
That's
depend on what
right.
you think of her. She decided who she is. She is loving herself. She's accepting who she is. And she is loving everybody else. And that's why I'm doing this. And that's why I bring her. And I love her energy and her story because that is what it's supposed to do. Help you to stop worrying about what other people think of you. Right, Kati?
That's right. I'd like to share something that's really important. Make that my third point. Scratch out the other one because it's
So
really
hold on a
important.
second. My interviews are usually 45
Oh,
minutes to an hour, but we
how
are
much
not
time do
doing
we got?
that. No, no,
We
no, no,
done?
no. I have as much time as you want me to have because I before I have to cut the other one because I was going to have an interview with you, but we can't take as much time because this is so good. We got to keep going. So tell me everything you got to say.
Well,
Let's go.
this
Okay.
one's really good. Okay, so people that come from traumatic pasts and that are struggling with low self-esteem, such as I was, and you're trying to rebuild yourself and literally, feel the fear, and do it anyway. I'm walking on shaky legs, and I'm like, oh my God, you're always self-doubting and questioning. And well, the first month I'm driving this big truck, this house, this monster of a beast. I'm still really shaky with my self-esteem, and I'm worried I'm going to get fired and just whatever, right? And they asked me to go through a maintenance yard and bring this truck down. And it's so big that they have to call security so that little pickups don't go through, right? So say they block the road. So I'm coming through, and everybody who's been through anything knows about PTSD, right? Post-traumatic stress disorder. I had a flashback from the past at the most inopportune time. I'm driving through the intersection, and honestly, it hit me like a tidal wave, but from behind, it went like this, and it took my breath away. I lost my air, went, and I started to cry, and all I could see was the most humiliating moments of my life, the vileness, the beatings, there were images, and I could hear the voices, and it's almost like I could see the words. I got goosebumps talking about it. It was so awful. And I couldn't breathe, and I start to hyperventilate, and I'm in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's a lineup of pickups. It was like a parade, about a mile, half a mile long and half a mile this way. There's barricades, there's security. And you got to imagine the scene in your head. These trucks are so big that when you're in a little pickup, when you get out and you see one coming down the road, the sound it makes, right? The size,
like
you're like,
Godzilla, Godzilla.
it is. And you can't really see the operator. The operator is about this big in the truck. So they couldn't see me, but they're just impressed with the tires and the sound and everything. Well, so I'm coming through, and I have this moment, and I'm like, I can't see the road, and I'm breathing. And in that moment, this is what I did. I'm like, oh, hell no. So this ain't happening. So I rolled down my window, and I said, my past does not define who I am today. I worked too damn hard to get all that, wreck this, right?
That's right.
So I took all that and I threw it out the window, right? And so what I did is I got rid of that negative ball of pain, of infection that was in here, right? But what happens when you get rid of something? You have a hole.
Emptiness.
So I had to fill that hole with something positive. And it was this is all seconds going on, right? Because I'm coming through the intersection. And I did the only thing I knew how to lift myself up. I did the queen wave. I started blowing kisses. I'm like, yes, hi. Oh, thank you. Yes, it's Kathy. How are you? Oh, yes. And I'm waving, I'm blowing kisses. It sounds ridiculous, but I gave myself my power back because I did not let all the trauma from the past, all the pain, the horrific things that have happened, I did not let that take over my moment of glory. That's because I worked too damn hard to be where I am. And so that single queen wave brought it right back in. And so to this day, when I have a moment of self-doubt, a moment of that voice telling me, who do you think you are? Like, going with this whole movie thing that I'm writing the script and I'm doing this and I'm starting I'm co-hosting my own a radio show. I'm doing all these things. I'm writing a third book. That voice sometimes, well, who do you really think you are? You don't have any
Yes.
experience. You don't know
Yeah.
what you're doing. You know what? Maybe I don't, but I'm going to find out.
That's
I'm going to do
exactly.
research.
Thank you.
And
That's
if there's an
exactly right.
opportunity and it presents itself, I'm going to say
That's
yes,
right.
even if I know nothing about it. And
That's
then I'm going to
right.
backpedal doing a lot of research,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to educate myself so that I can do it and I can
Yeah.
feel better.
Yeah.
And I find successful people, because I do a lot of, I study successful people and how they got to where they are.
Yeah.
And that's a common denominator. And I've always
Mm-hmm.
done this anyway, right?
Not afraid to learn new stuff.
Right. You
That's it.
have to be able to feel that fear and do it anyway. Dive in. And if you fail, so what? You try something else. You try another approach. You ask different questions. You got to juggle with it. I mean, nobody gets to be an Olympic medalist overnight. It takes time. Change takes time. Change
Yeah.
does not happen overnight.
Yeah. Like I'm
You got to be
teaching.
kind enough to your mind to be gentle with yourself on the
Right.
days that you're not feeling that superwoman power, on the
Right.
days that you just want to curl in a ball and cry. Well, you know what? Maybe do it. Maybe that's what you
That's
need
it.
that day, but
Yeah.
get back up. Don't you dare
Yeah.
stay there. Get back up, because I will
Yeah.
find you.
But I gotta tell you, I'm teaching right now at the university online, and I'm teaching like UX engineering, right?
Wow.
And I am
Holy.
teaching it right the first day of class. I'm excited and all that kind of stuff. First day of class, I start teaching, right? The voice came. Oh, they're not gonna like your accent. Oh, they're not gonna understand what you're saying. Oh, you're gonna look dumb. Oh, you're gonna make a mistake. Oh, they're never gonna. All of those voices start
Oh,
coming to my
yeah.
head, and all I had to tell myself, you got this. Just be you. If you make a mistake, it's okay. It's good for the student. They're gonna know that even if you make a mistake, you are the one teaching them.
Yeah.
So now, guess what? We are at the end of the course. They love me. I love them. I am so in love with my students because I did not let the voice destroy me. The voice
Good
have
for
came many
you.
times. Your memory is not like
Yeah.
before. You're getting older. They're whatever. They're gonna, their English is better than you. All that kind of stuff. Screw that. I am so freaking amazing and I know it, okay? Because I told myself that I am, and that's good enough. So if you don't like it, too bad. I am still a professor at the university.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
I'm teaching, and that's what I'm saying. So, you know what? This crazy woman, the professor.
Can you be my new BFF?
But the
You're
voices,
awesome.
the voices, the
Yeah,
voices, we have to keep shutting them down. We got to keep ignoring them. They come all the time. Don't
they
think
do.
because I am confident and Kathy's confident and we talk like this. Don't think the voices don't come from time
Oh,
to time. They
my
come
God.
very often. They knock on your
Mhm.
door and they say, hello, open up. And I say, get the F out of here. Okay. I let them know, leave me alone. I listened to you for a long time. I don't want to
Yeah,
listen to you anymore. Okay. But you have to keep fighting it because sometimes, depending on your mood, especially as a single mom, you're going to have those
yeah.
voices pestering you. And it's not going to be one, it's going to be
No,
many from the church,
come at you
from
all
the
sides.
everybody, everywhere. And you just have to shut it off. Okay.
Yeah,
And decide what is it that you want to do. Even your own voice is dangerous. That's the worst part of it. Your
that's
voice.
right.
So you have to know what you want. Choose your path and turn off some of those voices that only want to F you up. Okay. That's exactly what they want to do. And your job is to be persistent, consistent, and to win. You got to win for you. If you don't win for you, you can't teach your kids to win. How are you going to teach them to win when you're waiting for somebody to approve you, waiting for someone to give you, permission, waiting
Mm.
for someone to tell you you're amazing, waiting for a man to tell you he can take care of you? Come on. This is what you're
Waiting
going
for
to teach your
someone to
kids?
save you, right?
Exactly.
You got to
Nobody's
save
coming.
yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming.
At least in this world, because I'm a Christian, I believe in Jesus Christ and he is coming back. But I'm talking about in this world. Nobody's
Yeah.
coming to save me
No,
here. Okay.
you got to
I
move.
just wanted to clarify that just to make sure
Okay.
that he knows that I'm not denying, anything like that.
Oh my God.
Just making sure, just making sure. But But Kathy, I mean,
Oh,
I just love you. I love your energy. I love your spirit. And no
likewise.
matter what you have been through, you have a lot to teach. And I cannot wait to hear you say you're going to have your radio or something like that. You're going to
Yeah,
start.
it's called Women Road Warriors. We're starting pre-recording this month.
Well, you need to let me know when.
I
Send me a
will.
link so that I
I
can start
will.
sharing it because
Okay.
just that energy you have, oh, I can see you going viral. This is so
Yes.
amazing. Seriously, I would promote that because I'm not trying to be in the limelight and all that. I'm trying to do that. I was doing that before. Now I don't. I do it because today actually is my day off, and I love talking to people and learning. This is my day off.
Oh,
This is my
nice.
passion. Okay, this is
Yeah.
what I do. Okay, but I'm not trying to do it like before, where I'm trying to be like, oh no, I'm not, because it just fulfill me to have women listen and get something from it
Yeah.
and learn. And that's why you see that this channel is called In Vivo Life. It doesn't call Sandra or anything
I
because
know.
eventually I want to just anybody. I want to be able to have somebody like you and come and interview somebody else, and then somebody else come and interview somebody else. Where I don't have to be always the
Nice.
face. That's the reason why it's called En Vivo Life, because En Vivo mean life in Spanish. En Vivo
Yeah.
Life, right? So that's the whole point. I don't want to be always that face because I have many radios before I did this and doing
Yeah.
motivational speaking and all that, and that's for, it would be for
You
somebody else,
know,
but it's not
it's
for me.
interesting. It's interesting that you say that because all that I do, it's not about, I don't want to be sharing my story because I've shared it 1,000 times, but I want to promote other women superheroes that are
Exactly.
every day that I meet
Exactly.
everywhere. Tell your
Yes.
story. Come and see
Yes.
me
Yes.
because,
Yes.
because those are the unheard stories that should
Yes.
be heard,
Yes.
right? Because
Well,
some of
let me
these,
know
oh,
because I know some amazing women. So when you're ready, let
yeah.
me know what you're looking
Okay.
for. And I will
Okay.
definitely, I'll be like, Kathy, I have another amazing woman for you. Okay. I will be sending them your way. Okay.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
so let
Vice
me know.
versa. Vice
Yeah, let
versa.
me know. So any single mom stories, anything that you believe that will be beneficial, just send them my way.
You got a deal.
Stuff like that. Just send them to
Okay,
me, seriously. But
I will.
you guys, Kathy already gave you her information, but I will put the link to her Instagram in the description of this video.
Okay.
But if you have a story that you want to tell, if you have something that you believe that will be beneficial to single moms, then send me an email to info@singlemom.today, or just simply go visit me on Instagram as mvivo live. DM
Mm.
me, and please, like I said before in my other video, if you are just wasting people time, if you're a spammer, if you just want to sell me some kind of social media likes and all that kind of stuff, I'm gonna block you. Okay? I'm gonna just block you. So stop wasting my time. Okay? I'm serious and purposeful about life, and I don't care
I
about you
love you.
wasting my time. Okay? Don't waste my time. And all this
I'm just gonna block
craziness that
you.
you see here, it doesn't mean I'm looking for a man either. Okay? I'm very happy with my husband. Okay? So yes,
This is not a dating
I
site.
know I am fine. I
God,
know I look good.
holy.
Not interested. So stop sending me cute messages. Ooh, I could take care of you and all that. If you are
Oh
listening,
my
I'm not
God.
interested. Block.
Oh, I've had to block quite a few people. Oh my God.
Exactly.
The minute
That's
you
the cool
accept
thing
them on
about it.
Facebook, they go over to Messenger and write these horrible things. Hey, cutie pie, sexy, love, dear. I'm not your dear. Block. God.
Hey,
Ay,
babe,
ay, ay.
what you are doing? Block.
Yeah. Block. Hey, sexy. Block.
Yes, but I have some people that try to like send me bad words, and all that because like, oh, I'm like all about single moms, and a lot of people out there are talking very bad about single moms. Okay,
Oh my
and that's the
gosh.
reason why I am very passionate about doing this, because
Hmm.
the reality is that some single moms do give us a bad name. That's the reality. I'm not going to deny that. And my show is all about reality. Some of single moms do give us a bad name. Okay, but even if you are giving us a bad name, my job is to help you start thinking differently. Okay.
That's
So
right.
if you are a single mom and you have done all the wrong things, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to encourage you, to help you, for you to change your life and make it better. Because if you make your life better, your kids are going to have a better life. I'm not here. I am not God, so I can't judge you. Okay. I have been listening to a single mom from all over, and they tell me stories that I will not believe. And I'm like, you did what?
Mm,
And guess what? I love them through it, because that's what we were talking about here with Kathy. Forgiveness, love, and stop judging people, especially
that's
you
right.
Christians. And I say you Christian because I'm a Christian, okay?
Mm,
But we have to be careful about this judgmental thing that we think we know everything and we think we can do things better and all that kind of stuff. Love, forgiveness, and understanding. God will take care of the rest. Okay.
that's
So
right.
the reason why I say the F and I say the BS and all that kind of stuff, because I want you to understand that I'm a Christian and we say those things too. Okay. Like people try to be so perfect. I'm not perfect. And I'm
No,
trying to show you
no.
it's not about being perfect. It's about learning from your mistakes, moving forward, and not giving up. Stop trying to be perfect. If you're trying to be perfect, that's stupid. Okay?
Yeah,
Plain
not gonna
stupid.
happen.
None of
No.
us are perfect. We're never going to be perfect. Okay? So it's just stop. Okay? Stop.
Just
Right,
accept yourself
Kathy?
the way you
Just
are.
stop.
Just stop. Just stop.
Stop. Stop.
Our
Stop.
motto at work is stop and think. So just stop what you're doing and think about it, right?
Stop drinking that juice. Oh, Kathy, we do need to do this again.
We
Like
do. We
seriously.
will. We will.
I
It's
we
been
have
such a blessing.
a connection here for sure.
Yeah,
That energy, but it's not just because of the energy, it's that confidence and that experience that we have. So we
that's
are,
right.
I'm not trying to get your permission and you're not trying to get my permission. And that's the beautiful part about this conversation is we are not
Hmm,
trying to get approval. We just are who we are.
that's right.
And
This
that's
is
it.
this is it.
That's it. It's called self-care.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, my people, me and her can
Okay.
talk forever here. Okay.
Yeah,
So yes, we have passed the time and I'm okay with that. From time to time, my time is going to go over with some people because I'm never going to shut things down when they're going so good. It's not going to happen. Okay.
this
So
was great. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much for
Thank
having me.
you.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
it was so much fun.
and I have to say, I love you already. Thank
Oh,
you.
me too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, everybody remember Kathy's children book. Remembers the Kathy, can you show us that book again that you have?
Dream big.
Dream
Look at this
big. Look at
puppy.
that. Look at that.
Yeah,
Kathy,
my
Tuccaro.
baby.
Tuccaro. Ah,
Tuccaro, Tuccaro.
I can actually picture your boyfriend or husband when I was like, Tuccaro.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'll message you.
Anyway,
I'll send you my Spanish books. Okay.
okay, don't forget. Send me the link to where you
I
want them to
will.
reach you so that I can put that over there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bye,
See you.
Kathy.
Bye, everybody.